the type of life I can lead today. Of course, I had the support of my loving mother and family and friends, like many of the students do here, and wonderful educators, Mrs. Jane Burton, who nominated me for this award so many years ago. Thank you for the educators in the room. We appreciate and love you so much for pouring into us as young people. But also, without the existence of MASC, I may not have known what was possible. I grew up in low-income housing, only child to a single mother. I lived in the Carlington neighborhood, went to W.E. Gowling, very fond memories of attending that school, and then ended up at Fisher Park on Holland Avenue, the same home as the MASC office. Little did I know that this organization full of humility was just upstairs and around the corner of where I was attending classes for 2 years in junior high school. But my drama teacher saw my passion, my love for the arts, and nominated me for this award, and then I got it. That was big enough on its own for me. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and so the realm of what I thought was possible was very limited in scope. I now work for the TV station that I grew up watching, and on that channel back in the day, maybe some more mature people in the room like myself will remember this, Homegrown Cafe, hosted by the one and only J.J. Clark. And I always watched it, and I was like, Mom, I want to do this, I want to be on it. And, you know, I could see the hurt in her eyes and the fact that she couldn't afford to give me vocal lessons or private lessons in many things. But through this award with MASC came a partnership with an institution formerly known as the Ottawa School of Speech and Drama, which was also a very special place for so many years in the city of Ottawa. And I got a scholarship to study musical theater and Shakespeare. It was supposed to be 1 year, but they kept me on for longer. All of a sudden, I was able to do something that my family wasn't able to provide for me. And I'll share a full circle moment for you. It allowed me to sing on this stage at the age of 13. After receiving high marks, because they would fly in someone from the UK, there were Trinity exams, and then they would have their own show, similar to how we're seated here. And I remember what I sang. I sang The Kite from Your Good Man, Charlie Brown. And if you're not familiar with the song, it goes a little bit like this. A little more speed, a little more rope, a little more wind, a little more hope. Gotta get this stupid kite to fly. I remember staring up into the lights, into the audience, tugging on my fake kite, miming away. Very special moment. I didn't know that I would be able to perform on an NAC stage. Fast forward, a lot of the amazing individuals I met at Ottawa School of Speech and Drama, who I'm still friends with to this day, they were talking about Canterbury. And I was like, well, I mean, if I could study Ottawa School of Speech and Drama, maybe I could study at Canterbury High School for the Arts. So I auditioned and I went there, and now I have my fine art certificate in theater, and then I was surrounded by people who were child actors and had agents, and I was like, okay, I'm 15, I want an agent now. And I got one. All that to say, I'm still acting to this day, passionate about my arts. I auditioned for the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City off Broadway and got in on a partial scholarship. Don't clap too loudly, I didn't go. But I made another decision that I was going to attend Carleton University and study journalism instead. All of this, again, because it's kind of started with this award. Just understanding that the door didn't need to be closed on any opportunity because of my family's financial circumstances. I didn't know if university was possible. I know it could be. You know, my mom was very hard on me. From the moment I was in kindergarten, she said, I may not be able to pay for this for you, but if you work hard and get high enough grades, scholarships can take care of it all. And it did. graduated without any student debt because of that message, but also because I was surrounded by people where that was the norm. It wasn't a one-off chance, being around people that may have grown up with more privilege than myself. It wasn't, are we going to college, university, is which one we're going to. And that conversation makes a difference. The beautiful thing about MASC is that it never questions a child's ability around the arts. They provide a space where the different form of expression is exposed to our youth, where maybe someone can go into the classroom or a gymnasium and make breakdancing part of their physical education, that you could have someone like Jamal go to an English class and understand that the form of expression doesn't necessarily always have to be rigid and fit into a tiny little box. These things make a difference. And once I got to New MASC a little bit better, I realized that this humble organization that was still in my junior high school, around the corner from where I was studying, had been a part of my life for so much longer. Speaking of wonderful educators, Mrs. Jones-Myers at W.E. Gowling had made sure to send me to the Young Authors and Illustrators Conference. Age 10, she said, "Mom, can you get him there?" She said, "I'll try." We didn't tell anyone I took the bus by myself, because I'd been doing that for a while. That's a little secret, confessing it right here, sorry, Mom. But I got there. And as I started to work with them or sit on their board of directors, and I'm looking through this booklet of amazing artists, I start to recognize people that had been to my school time and time again. I saw Junkyard Johnny that were using recycling bins and trash cans to make beautiful music. I saw other names I recognized, and the one that stood out to me really strongly and very well was Leslie McCurdy, because I was sitting in W. Gowling's gymnasium, and it was kind of the first time, I was probably 7 or 8, and so I was still fairly young. It may have been the first time that I saw myself reflected in my education. That heritage and ancestry was there right before me. And what was special, why it resonates with me so strongly was that when she opened her mouth to sing and share this one-woman show around Black history, what she sang was the first song I remember my mother teaching me as a child. When we would be in that tiny apartment on Shillington Avenue, and she would recall her own childhood of growing up in Jamaica and singing on the choir at the Grace Baptist Church in St. Mary, or Ruckabessa St. Mary in Jamaica. And it was Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. So when I heard that, swing low, someone's stealing my thunder. Coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. And what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home, a land of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Leslie McCurdy, ladies and gentlemen. sure I haven't been the only one over the years. So thank you for what you've done. Thank you for your commitment to your art, your craft, and your passion, and for being here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie. All right, I'm done.